even though he gets hurt, John, to be rewarded.
All right, guys. All right, everybody. We have head coach Tammi Reiss. Coach, when you get settled, an opening statement on the 11th straight win.
Credit to Davidson, first of all. You know, this was a clash of two of the top teams in the A10. It was a big game. There's no doubt about it. You know, our team knew that. Their team knew it. And, you know, really proud of how we executed our game plan, especially defensively against two of the best kids in the league, Katie Donovan and Charlize Dunn. You know, held them both under their scoring average. And, again, execution in the fourth quarter was key. When you get defensive stops, and then you either get scores or you make your free throws. You get to the free throw line and you got to make them. Because they're such a deadly three-point shooting team, the game was never over. Even when we were up 6 with 30 seconds left, the game is not over. You've got to make your free throws. So the way we executed defensively and stopped the three-point shot at the end, again, really, really happy. But we executed our game plan to a T. Just the thing we probably could have done a little bit better was our offensive execution, getting into what we needed to earlier, so we had more time on the clock. But again, fourth quarter, that's our time for whatever reason it is. They're the heart attack kids. I wish we could execute during the third and hold on to a 10-point lead with 5 minutes to go. But you know, I told TV I'd take the dub. I definitely would take executing in the fourth quarter down the stretch and doing what we need to do to win. So really proud of our squad.
Coach, you always talk about your team being clutch, and especially in that fourth quarter with the execution. What is it that you guys lean on to keep them so poised?
It's funny, we recruited some players that we brought in, and especially the one. I think she got player of the game today. She's got a lot of confidence, a lot of swag. She can make shots for herself. She can get people the ball when she needs to. And it's really penetrated to everyone and permeated our team of that confidence where they all believe in each other. But Brooklyn Gray gives us that little swag that we never had. We really didn't have for quite a long time, a couple years now. And then we brought another person in, and she's only a freshman, but she's got that same thing. They've never been afraid of the big moments, ever. So it gives the other ones around them a lot of confidence, and now they believe that if you can do it, I can do it. And so they really trust each other. We wrote that word on the board today behind this backdrop, and they play for each other. And so when you got kids that believe and they've got swag, and they're like, give me the ball, get out of my way, I have total confidence in them at the end of games. I really do. If we miss shots and lose a game, but it won't be from a lack of, you know, we don't know who's getting the ball. We don't know where the shot's coming from, and we don't have anyone that can't make a play. That's not the case. So it's just a kind of culture thing. You got to recruit it. You got to know it. You got to know what you want. And I want big-time players that want the ball in their hands, that have that. They can be 0 for 20 and they're like, give it to me, get out of my way. I'm taking this game winner and I'm going to make it. It'll be my first basket. And so I think that's the difference from this year's team to last year's team. I think last year we had 17 wins total. I think we were 17-16 if I'm not mistaken. And now we're 17-2. So there's just a big difference in how we went about constructing this roster and what we were looking for that we did not want again this year. And BG, Vanessa, Tavi, Val, they bring something different. And a lot of it is their personality, their swag, and their lightheartedness. It's made the difference in our team.
Tammi, just how have you gotten the roster to the point where they are so buttoned up down the stretch? Like, and I'm talking about, like, you know, weak side blockouts on the defensive glass, or, you know, getting a driver downhill and drawing a foul, or blitzing a ball screen for a three. Just how have you been able to drill down on those finer points in the last 2 minutes?
I think this point in the season, we really cut a lot of the nonsense basketball, the drills you do, and we've done that in the beginning. We take really big chunks now, so our offensive execution, big chunk against Scout, and exactly how they're going to play you, exactly what they're going to do, and we drill it over and over out of our sets. Same thing with Scout. You know, we put our kids in certain situations, end the game, we do it every day. if we're up, tie score, I can literally give you, we were up 5 today in shoot around. It was tie score. This is what they're running. And it came to fruition. They ran the exact same sets we prep our kids for. End the game. This is what we're doing defensively. So with the team, they have confidence in, we've done it already. We know. We're in white. We're switching everything. Let's go. No threes to a box out. Everything's to a box out. And then practice, if it doesn't happen, they get it. They get it. And then we don't leave the floor till it happens. And so they walk away knowing we know what we're doing offensively, we know what we're doing defensively. And then time and score situations, what has to happen. And that's just drilling them and putting that confidence in them. And it's shown every fourth quarter. We've been able to execute both ends of the floor. So I give my coaching staff great credit, their scouts. We develop practice as a staff. It's not just me. It's what we need to do to be successful. And so we've also cut practice tremendously, where prior years, I think this has been my downfall, I overwork kids. And if they don't have their legs coming into games and they're not high energy, you're going to lose anyway. So we've really cut all the fat off, if you will, hit the main components, hour and a half, and get them out. And keep them hungry and ready to rock and roll on game day.
Coach, you said in an earlier press conference that you don't believe you had a chip on your shoulder after you didn't receive any first place votes in the A10 preseason poll. You've now beaten 2 of those teams ranked ahead of you so far. What is that feeling like to just go in those top teams and beat them?
Well, with this team, I keep it real. Number one, it's one game at a time. It's how we've always done things here. But you got to understand the importance of the game. I'm never worried that we're not going to be up for Davidson or George Mason or Richmond or St. Joe's. I'm just never. But when you play Duquesne, who's 0-8, and I told you I'm in a constant state of paranoia, where practice is going to be different because it's a trap game, and you have a tendency to relax. So keeping them sharp. I told them, listen, we're going to earn our respect. That's fine. Eventually we'll get the respect. But I did tell them this. I saw a post today, it was yesterday, and there's a bunch of pictures on Davidson and I think the Atlantic 10 posted it, and it said, ready for the Rams. And I went, all right, that's what we're doing now, okay? So I was like, I told the team, no. Yeah, this was all the fodder we needed. Put it on the board. We're going to come out, and this is going to be Apollo and Rocky today. And we're going to fight. And you got to earn your respect. I think people now believe we are a good team. I still don't think they think that we're the best team. I think until someone dethrones Richmond, they're the best team in the league. It's just the way it is. They've been the champion. And we play them one more time. And again, a big game. George Mason coming up, big game. But we'll earn our respect. But I use it every bullet I can to get them riled up a little bit, where I get them to practice a little bit harder. I get them pissed off a little bit, play a little bit harder. And then eventually we'll earn our respect. The AP votes and all that stuff, I don't care about. Listen, I don't care. All I care about is the net, getting up to where we need, take care of our business so we can go to the NCAA tournament with an at-large and we can get 2 teams in, at least 2 teams. That's what I care about. The AP top 25 and all that, I could care less. I just want to keep winning, one game at a time, handle our business, get our net where it needs to be, so we're ensured that, the A10 is sending 2 teams, and that's what I care about.
So that's in the open now. You're talking about that with the players. About where you sit with respect to March.
Again, I never lied to them. Like, listen, if we don't handle our business, we could be out. If you don't handle your business and you lose to a team with a net of 200 or 150, you're out of the bubble. So, you got to handle your business. And again, the way we prep, they understand that. So that's our goal. Here are their goals. They said it, they wrote it down. Number 1, best chemistry, best trust, play for each other as a team. They want that dynamic, unlike last year. They want that. They've created that here. They love each other, they play for each other. Number 2, they want to win the A10 tournament and regular season. Number 3, go to the NCAA. So that's them. And number 4, best defensive team in the league. Don't ask me how we're getting it done defensively, because we didn't recruit defense, we recruited offense, but they do. I'm a defensive coach, so they play their you-know-what's off for me defensively. I didn't think we would be a very good defensive team. I recruited offense, and suddenly, we've become a pretty good defensive team. But those were their goals, and they know it. Every day, you're on the edge. Any mid-major, come on. That's just the way it is now. You got to handle your business. So our kids understand that. So next game up, Dayton, okay? They may be in the bottom of the league, but we're going to have a great crowd. We're going on the road, probably a huge snowstorm, probably get snowed in. All these things are, as a coach, have me paranoid that we're not going to be ready. So my job is to get them focused, refocused, and have them ready for the game. Ready for Dayton, one game at a time.
Yeah, Coach. You guys shot 8 free throws in the last minute before that, 2 the whole game. Was that clean defense from Davidson, or were you guys not getting in the right spot to draw a foul?
No comment. I thought we got fouled a lot. That's just me. But, it wasn't called. So you got to be able to play through it, and in the first half, we were getting a little frustrated with the no calls, and it was affecting us. And I said, listen, I'll fight the refs for it, just play. And some days you're not going to get the calls. It just is what it is. But, and other times I thought Davidson had some really good defense. They really did. But in the end, you got to figure out a way to win. If we normally get to the free throw line a lot more than that, we didn't today. So we got to figure out a way to win. Is it getting defensive stops? Is it? But fortunately, we were able to get it done on the defensive end, and in the end, they had the foul, and we were ready to shoot our free throws. It's one thing we're very good at this year is, making free throws in crunch situations to put games away in the fourth quarter. You have to if you're going to win a championship and be a good team.
Yeah, they started the third. I think they were 6 for 7, and then you really put the clamps on them for about 8 minutes there. So what did you see change at that end of the floor?
It was really, I didn't think, I got them out of this room late half. They went out and they were flat. I got to get them out earlier than that, and that's my fault. That's not their fault. But I thought we came out flat. 2 turnovers to start the half. They picked us apart and scored at will on us. I think it was a 7-0 run or something like that. So, I was about to use a timeout, but then we got a score and got it back down. And kept it within striking distance. And I always want to save my timeouts for the end of the game, but it was refocusing them on the defensive end. Like, listen, if we don't get stops, the game's over because we're having a hard time scoring. We're not running. They can set their press up, get us trying to operate with 14 seconds on the shot clock. So the key was getting stops, and I thought they did. They refocused. We started to execute better defensively, and that was the game. That was the game right there.
Coach, you talked about recruiting offense this cycle. You have Brooklyn Gray come in as a transfer. You also recruit Vanessa Harris. You've also talked about the chemistry they have, like they're best friends and stuff like that. What is this infusion of talent from them led to just such great, kind of scoring outputs like you've had recently with Gray scoring 19 and Vanessa scoring 12 today?
Listen, we run a motion, and I love beautiful basketball where it's equal opportunity. But if you don't have some kids that can just go get a bucket and create their own shot, it can get real ugly real fast. The thing Brooklyn and Vanessa can do is they can take anyone. They can get to their go-to spot and get what they want. Now, Brooklyn can also create for others, but we had to have that where last year we did not have it. You needed a ball screen to be able to beat someone. You didn't have that one-on-one player that could just hoop. I call it, you can just flat out hoop. Just get out of their way, go get a bucket. And a lot of times we ran some ISOs tonight on the block for Palmier, especially when we made that run and went up 10 on them. We got Brooklyn to her spot, we got Palmier to her spot, we got Vanessa to her spot on the pull-up in the paint. So, they bring, again, what we needed them to bring. And that was like, you got to go get us a bucket now. The offense can't work for us. It's a one-on-one. Go do your thing. It's why you're here. And so we didn't have that last year. The year we won the championship, we had a couple kids that could do that. But that's what's so special about those two is they can get their shot off anytime. They can take you. I could go 1-4 flat, and Vanessa's going to get to a pull-up, left or right. Although she likes going left more, but I can go 1-4 flat and go all DC ISO, and Vanessa's going to take you and elevate over you, and we'll at least get a jump shot. That I know. I couldn't do that last year with anyone. I could not do that. I couldn't run. I had to run and try to get an offense to get a shot off, which is why we averaged about 48 points a game. So that's what they bring, and it's really, really special. And now, when people have to focus on that and load the paint, now it opens up everybody else. So now it makes everyone else's job a whole lot easier, like wide open threes, not contested or denied. So, you know, it really, those two are just, they're bucket getters.
Any final questions for Coach? All set. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming.